What the Rock is cooking!
What's up, YouTube?
Welcome to The Rock Block. I'm Zach,
I'm Sloan.
I'm Aaron.
and today we're joined by special guest star.
Connor, hi. It feels surreal being here. You guys put on such energy in that last moment. It kind of made me nervous. If I could.
Well, our fans have come to expect a certain amount of energy from us, so we like to.
Can I ask? I was thinking, is Graham the only one who listens to this? Do you think other people, like me and Graham, I think are the only ones? Maybe.
I believe we have an extensive.
that from the record.
Yeah, we have an extensive list of followers.
It would be
Expensive,
too
is that
long.
like double digits? You would say that's double digits?
I would.
I would say
How
triple.
many subscribers are there? 12?
16.
16.
We're up to 16 subscribers as of
Who
today.
in the world are they? Who are they? Do you know? Have you looked through? Have you looked at like the graph of like where they are in the world?
I
Do you
think
know?
just connoisseurs of smart culture and entertainment.
smart
Yeah.
culture.
Yeah.
Smart people
Very
find
eloquent.
us.
Yeah. I think they just Google smart podcast and then they find we're like one of the top ones on Google.
You gotta keep stimulating
Yeah,
your
this
brain.
is right.
You find
This is like,
challenging
I think
material.
this is actually on NPR's website.
It is, yeah. It absolutely is.
we
Speaking
had to
of-
tell them to take that down.
Speaking of smart culture, and we can almost put this in a science podcast soon because we're going to share rock facts from now on.
Yep.
So,
It's a new segment. I like this.
Bonus
Yeah.
geology fact.
so I have
Okay.
I have a couple rock facts before at the top of the show. So this episode is all about Moana.
Yes.
And so I was thinking, Moana, Hawaii, volcanoes. Let's talk about igneous rocks. So,
Let's talk about igneous
I've been
rocks.
dying to talk about igneous
Please.
I know there have been a couple comments asking specifically about this. So
So, just a couple. I just went to sciencekids.co.New Zealand,
That's a sponsor.
and
yeah, they
rocks. Show that logo.
Show that logo.
so a couple quick igneous rock facts. There are over 700 different types of igneous rocks.
Wow.
I did not
I
know
also
that.
didn't know. So when I think of igneous rocks, I think of like the ones you see in 4th grade science class. They got a bunch of holes. They're pretty brittle.
Yeah.
Did you guys know that fucking granite is igneous?
Wow.
I
One
did.
of the best
I did.
countertops is an igneous rock.
Wow.
Igneous.
It's so tough, and it's igneous.
That's a good
Also,
one.
That's crazy.
just the last one, I just like the name. Tuff is a rock formed from volcanic ash.
Like
can you spell that for me?
Tuff.
Oh.
Tough, just like the rock.
That's amazing.
That's a great tie-in. I love that slow.
Yeah, that's
Thanks.
good.
All
That's
right,
good.
so those are our rock facts.
Rock facts.
All right, let's
Come
get
at you hot.
Yeah, can't wait to see you guys make more content out of that.
let's get right into it. We just watched Moana. Our guest Connor here watched it yesterday, right?
I watched it yesterday, but I have another question. I watched it yesterday for the second time. How many times have you guys seen Moana?
I'm at
You've seen it twice.
I met
Sloan.
twice.
This is my first time today.
This is your first time.
First
And
time.
I want to know, okay, then quickly, I want to know, Aaron and Sloan, you guys going into the second, actually, no, I would rather ask Zach this first. Zach, going into Moana, did you have any expectations? Did you think it would be good?
Yes, I've only heard good things about the movie.
Okay.
Everyone I've ever talked to about it was like, yeah, it's awesome. So of
And-
course I'm
okay.
going into it like already excited.
So right from the very first seconds of this movie, I thought of a problem. Like this is us watching an objectively good movie. And
Yeah, and I was thinking, and I was worried that this thing that I'm about to say would maybe be not super well received by you guys. This is for sure going to be the best movie reviewed by you guys.
One
I
of
think
the
hands
best.
down.
I'd
One of
say
the
one
best.
of the best.
Wait, Connor, when could you tell the future? Because we don't know.
Okay, so
Dwayne's coming
I
out with new
regret it
content
because
left
it
and
was
right.
Really, what Aaron led up to, I was pretty sure that would be a well-received comment, and
Was it?
I was wrong. I turned on its head. They all
Yeah.
shit on me pretty
the
quickly.
best so far, absolutely. But
So far.
from what we know about the Rock Block, his trajectory is just
He's just going up.
I think
Okay.
maybe I'll get into this later, but I think different vein. It was a great movie, but I wouldn't say it's the best because it wasn't him directly using a lot of his acting.
It's a side flavor of The Rock.
It wasn't using his body, which is what we've come to expect with Dwayne,
Well-
is like that muscly body. That's kind of why we're in it for
Is
this.
that what you guys want to talk about first? Is just seeing The Rock in an animated form versus human, and where they? I would like to bring up where they come together and they're still the same.
Yeah. I think that this is
wanted to mention
interesting
that,
because there's so much here to unpack. There's so much I'd like
There's
to
so
talk
much.
about, but I think that that's great, Sloan. How is Rock and we have seen Rock in many forms. We've seen Rock in the original Rock form when he's small, when he's big. We've seen when he's
Sedimentary.
like kind of half animated in that really
Lugubrious.
horrible Scorpion King movie.
Whoa, that
And
was
then
badass, dude.
We've also seen. I think they're telling. Should I speak quieter? Should I move this away? That's
No, you're
right.
good.
Edit this.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll cut it out totally.
and then this is the first fully formed animated Rock movie, and he somehow is still yoked, and it's almost unbelievable.
I noticed
much creative
almost all the
freedom.
men in this movie were yoked, though.
They were huge. Their thumbnails were as big as the women's hands.
Now I
That's a
don't want
really
to
weird, tiny detail. to
get
notice.
into like stereotypes of people, but I thought like the Samoan people a lot of times were very big and
They're-
tall.
They
like
thick boys.
They're
Polynesian,
larger.
Samoan, native.
That's true.
That's how you
Yes,
survive on an
that's
island.
true.
And that's
get
why
thick.
I wanted to bring up because I knew from reading The Rock's biography back in 4th grade that he is part Polynesian Hawaiian.
We're in this for the
And,
long haul.
He's got that sick ass fucking tribal tattoo.
Yeah.
In
Yes,
real
yes.
life.
Yeah.
And I was looking at, all the tattoos. I was like, oh shit, that's definitely a Polynesian tattoo. So I just want to share a little The Rock fact
Okay.
about his tattoos because I was just like, I was wondering, there's a scene
Please
in the
do.
movie where they're getting their, traditional, just like with the rock and the stick ink tattoo. So I was wondering if The Rock got that done in the same way.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't find that. However, I
bummer.
did find out.
We can ask him one day.
I did find out that he did indeed go to Hawaii to a very big deal traditional Hawaiian tattoo artist because to bring he wanted to feel closer to his Samoan roots. So that is I thought that was kind of cool that I think the main actress is also Hawaiian.
Turns out
Native.
the entire cast except for one voice actor is of Polynesian descent.
Actually,
So, yeah,
all
they-
of the
they really-
animators on this film are from Hawaii.
That's not true.
Yeah, that was a lie.
You said that
It is-
so
it is
confidently.
just pushing for diversity in their movies, especially in things like voice acting. But
You
I
wouldn't
think,
necessarily need to. We can't see them.
yeah, exactly.
I
exactly.
like that she had a bit of an accent in the Maui instead of having a generic British princess
Maui.
voice.
Yeah.
Or Maui. Yeah, that was nice to hear.
Yes.
Moana.
And
I'm from
I
Moana.
don't know what white
from
people
Ohio.
sound like to you. What?
Chicago, man.
Y'all seen that new Moana movie?
It's in Hawaii. Went down there with the wife for our honeymoon. I saw that Moana. I just want to go back.
I got
little,
laid.
Little luau, little puka nua, little fish.
Oh, shit, you're funny. Oh, that's good podcast.
All right. Now, okay, Sloan, you're usually the best at running us through a quick recap of the movie.
Okay.
Do you want to give us that before we get
I
into
A lot of
the
mine is recap.
nitty gritty?
Okay. Can I just do a quick breakdown?
I think I'd like to talk about this just
You wanna take the reins here,
chronologically
Hoss?
from top to bottom.
I would love if you did it. Just
All
change
right.
it up. Let's hear it, Daddy.
All
Okay.
right.
I'm gonna put my hair up. I'm getting hot.
So
Spoilers!
Oh yeah,
So-
spoilers.
so-
Please watch the movie. It's very, very good. Please do not listen to this before you.
Honestly.
Who's fucking listening?
16 people, Connor, including yourself.
Yeah.
all right. So right away we find out The Rock is a trickster, and this is an unusual role.
I was
for
a little
him.
turned off about it.
He's more altruistic. He's more positive, just genuine good. And
I like
this
knowing I
time-
can trust someone that big.
Yes, yeah. If someone with that amount of mass, if you don't know what he's up to, that's dangerous.
Yeah.
So he steals a magic spirit coin right away in the beginning.
No, it's a stone.
It's a stone.
That is a
The
magic
spirit coin's a weird way to put it.
And when he takes away the spirit coin,
stone.
Let
basically
him do this thing.
the spirit coin ends his montage, and then we see Moana. Moana comes in as a baby.
Wait. There's
No,
a
you messed
plot.
up.
As a baby.
Moana is a
We're
baby.
getting there.
Perhaps at this moment you see that she could be a waterbender. She might not be. She is too young to know for sure. And then right away, when you're like, okay, this movie might be about a baby, there's even a boss baby little moment going on.
There is a boss baby moment.
It's a little bit of two sassy babies, but then they hit you with a puberty montage. Boom. Right away, you get a puberty montage with song number 1. And that one, I think song number 1, the puberty montage, kind of gave away the whole plot of the movie. It was like, we're all happy here on the island, but don't fucking leave ever. And there's dark undertones right away.
Yeah. It's also, can I just jump in real quick?
Oh yeah.
Okay, I feel a little weird that everybody else is touching my fart soundboard. It's kind of, okay.
You can touch your own
Just
farts.
saying boundaries.
Move on.
Boundaries? Anyway, so there were a couple things, like we noticed, like some Disney film archetypes. Number 1, grandmas are awesome.
Mm-hmm.
They always
I
support
literally
you.
underlined grandma is great.
Mm-hmm.
I just did it again on accident.
I actually wrote Granny's Gonna Die right away.
Oh man, that's dark.
I mean,
Wait, what did you say?
Granny's Gonna Die. You could tell.
Yeah,
She
yeah,
was
you
gearing
could tell.
up. She was gearing up for her last act.
I mean, yeah,
But
she was
is she
coughing.
dead?
Is
But
she?
anyway,
We'll find out.
so there was that. It was, as we noticed, like Zach pointed out to Mulan, and I was like, yeah, Pocahontas, Grandma Tree.
Grandmas
But
are great.
Also, that
Grandma.
dads suck, and they don't trust you to be yourself.
Oh
also, same in Mulan and Pocahontas. Dad's not trusting in their daughters.
I also wrote
And
supportive
Mermaid.
moms.
The
Supportive.
dad was a little bitch.
No, I want to push back on supportive moms because despite my favorite scene in the movie being totally about the mom was complicit in everyone's everything. She stood up to nobody ever. She did nothing. She was
did
supportive
nothing,
of
but
everyone.
also when her daughter had that moment of like going and doing her thing when like she absolutely needed help, mom was like, "I fucking got you. I got you."
I mean,
She
yes,
finally
and I
let
will
along.
say that when in that song, when Mom showed up, it was a split second. Just Mom ran into the door frame. I like wailed. That was my first time crying.
Oh,
this
man.
movie.
First
Mom's
time.
Get Me, Mom's Crying Get Me, and oh my God, I rewound it to cry again at that scene.
oh my
Good for
goodness.
you.
Wow.
That was so good. Please go look at that scene. I wish I had a timestamp. Oh
And
my
also,
God.
I would
saw it.
also like to push back one more time towards you, Connor,
Okay.
because you're saying
Okay.
like maybe she was being a little complicit, but after she knew that Moana was leaving and she gave her a hug, that she was fighting with Dad the whole time.
Yeah,
She
his
was gone.
thumbs are bigger than her hands. She
Yeah.
can't do much.
Yeah.
It's been
It's
established.
a safety thing.
She knew she would have to argue with him every fucking second of the day after this happened, and she was like, you know what, worth it, because you got this, Moana.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
Okay,
no, the main
Moana's
point
mother.
wasn't even about moms. It's
Well-
about grandmas being awesome
Grandmas.
and dads sucking
Super
in
moms.
Disney movies.
I'm gonna pause.
Dads do suck.
I'm gonna
Dads
pause
do suck.
for the dad though. Now it turns out the dad's got some baggage. The dad
Don't they all?
doesn't like her adventuring his sweet, sweet daughter because he actually had a friend that drowned
true.
in a storm accident.
Yeah, he couldn't save him when they tried to do what he was trying to prevent her from doing,
Yeah.
which was leaving the island.
That's because he doesn't think that his daughter can be better than him, and I don't know, maybe because his body.
I don't think it
mass
goes
takes
just to
him
his
down.
daughter. He wouldn't let anyone leave. He was afraid for
Which is
everyone.
insane. Are you Hitler? That's crazy.
Yeah, kinda
Like, it's
crazy
such an unsustainable
considering the
Are you
lifestyle.
wealth.
calling Moana's father Hitler?
I'm calling him dumb.
That's fair.
They might-
Maybe just scared. I thought he was scared.
You need new fresh ideas to break it
That
up.
too, yeah.
You
need fresh
new
ideas,
blood.
especially when your coconuts are rotting. And that's
Yeah,
what
you
they
need a
find out.
grandma to come in and advance the plot.
New ideas come from grandmas.
Grandmas.
Actually, okay, yeah, no, I just see the flow in what I just said. You're right.
Now, I just quickly am curious. I don't want to get too deep here. Can I just get a quick round the table? Whose grandma in real life is cool? Mine is fine at
I
best.
have one. The other one. Well, I don't want to talk out of turn. But one of my grandmas is one of the most supportive, nurturing to a fault. Like she's a martyr type nurturing. Like just so good and supportive, and one of the most like accepting older ladies. Like knowing what her beliefs are, and the fact that she still like tries to be cool with like having like a trans grandchild and stuff. She's like, I don't get it, but like I love you, and like she's just really cool and wants everyone to be okay.
That's what's
She
up.
adopts kids. She's just a good lady.
You're coming into this movie with
what's
some
up.
good grandma vibes.
I have good grandma vibes.
Okay, what about you two, fellas? How are your grandmas?
One of my grandmas is like purple and in the ground, and the other one can't really see well and drinks a lot of wine. I don't have a good grandma influence.
Sounds like she might have some good wisdom.
Maybe maybe
You just
did.
maybe drank some wine with her.
Zach, I have a feeling that your family listens to this, so I'm not going to.
My family does not listen to this.
Okay.
I sent a link to our page to my parents and they did not respond.
Oh,
They didn't.
They're not
Is that
subscribed.
you're welcome.
They're not subscribed.
Do you think that YouTube account?
But it's fine. I'm like Moana going off on my own.
Yeah, honestly, who needs them? I love you,
Connor?
Diana. It's fine. We really get along.
Connor,
I don't really want to ruin that relationship again. I know that we had some tough times in the past. It's okay.
We'll edit that out. Connor, tell me a little bit about your grandma.
Oh, my
Or both
grandma,
of them.
one's dead as well, and the other one is fine. She's nice, but she's not going to turn into a stingray and guide me to my destiny.
My grandma totally would do that.
That's awesome.
My grandma.
That is so freaking
What would she
lit,
be?
Sloan.
I think she'd be more of a hawk.
Ooh, that's a good one.
My grandma might be like
Honorary mammals.
like a possum
Yeah,
or something.
absolutely.
Ew, a possum?
I don't know.
You think your grandma's a rodent?
Something that's like not cool in
Wait,
spirit
I take
form.
it back. She wouldn't be a hawk. She'd be a horse because she'd want to carry you.
There you go.
Oh, that'd be
Yeah,
good.
she'd be a
Why couldn't a hawk carry you with like cool
Because
talons?
it's gonna hurt, and she'd be like, "Oh, sorry."
Spirit talons.
Spirit talons
Just
don't hurt.
no.
Spirit
It
talons don't hurt.
depends, right? Like you can't be a horse in water. They're bad. They're not great.
That's true. Horses can't really swim
Well, I'm
super
from the
well.
Midwest, so we don't.
That's true. We don't have a
For
lot
my
of oceans.
spirit grandma, we need horses.
We need
We have
horses.
no water.
Or
Yeah.
opossums.
All right.
The possum one is really. I'm sorry. That's dark.
Let's just move past that.
I just think she's drunk at nighttime and having a good time.
So this whole action leads us to song number 2, where I wrote song number 2 is a banger right away. This turns out to be the Moana theme, and some of my favorite Disney music that's ever come out. So
I
far.
wrote Boat Caravan is badass.
Also, I
a lot
wrote
of cool boats going on right now.
I wrote badass a lot on my
every
notes.
song and dance gave me goosebumps.
Yeah, I was getting so many chills.
I thought I had a nerve hit problem. I was covered in goosebumps.
Well, I will say every song was really incredible. Like you said, this was the theme that we came back to this tune 2-3 times during the movie.
Each time
it was
it evolves.
so goddamn good, so catchy, so empowering.
Empowering,
Oh,
yes.
yeah. Oh, we'll come back to it every time it comes back in the film.
Yeah.
You can listen to it. Could you imagine just like walking down the street on a sunny day listening to this song? You feel like the main character of your own life.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I could do anything.
I don't know, kick a bully.
Honestly, I felt like if I was ever on a boat, I wouldn't know what to do. But if I was on a boat and that song was playing, I would know what to do.
You would figure.
You
it
I
out.
would
just
at least
tie the knots.
pretend. I would at least pretend and I'd figure it out like Moana did.
Exactly like Moana did.
Exactly. Badass.
So
I feel like we shouldn't have dead airtime. Am I derailing the podcast more than it normally is derailed?
Not at
No,
all.
you're good, dude.
I was thinking
Okay.
we
Doing pretty good so far.
We're getting enough from you because we're talking so much.
Yeah.
the
Okay.
so
What's
so-
next, Aaron?
So song number 2 was the beginning of the Moana theme, and then we see a bit of her and the pig. I thought that she was an irresponsible pig owner. It turns out she didn't care about the pig. The pig came in, went, and maybe didn't really need to be in the film.
Hot take. I kind of like the pig.
The pig did not add any value to the film.
It was her friend that was at home. Instead of like developing a friend that she loved,
had
that
a
was her
goobery
friend.
creature later on. in
That
the
was a
film.
different thing. Because
And
you know
no,
how
see, the
useless
thing-
that was in the beginning turned out to be super helpful.
yeah.
Fucking chicken.
And it
I
go-
was reading trivia before this, and turns out there's loads of trivia on IMDb. But they were kind of worried about having
just
too
watched it
many
when we filmed
sidekicks,
Okay.
and that's why Pua stayed home.
Ah.
Was
Many
what? I missed
sidekicks.
that?
Too many side
Too many
characters.
sidekicks.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Right?
We
So
already
you
had
had that
Chaos
being
Chicken. We don't need
I'm saying
Pua.
that's why they left him at home because
exactly.
yeah.
Exactly. Throw it in
I
the
liked it was
trash.
another thing to come back to. It was a nice little like I liked it. I liked the pig.
I didn't.
I did.
I like the pig too. I think
like
that he
it.
wasn't a detriment to the movie at all. In fact, I thought Hey, that stupid fucking chicken. Honestly, that was my least favorite part of the movie. I'll say it. Hey was my least favorite part of this movie.
Wow, hot take. I like the chicken a lot.
Connor, I'm gonna disagree
Can
with you
you
as
walk
well.
me
there.
through? No, walk me through. What was fun about watching?
So
Hey?
I normally despise the comic relief.
Yeah,
in every
same.
rock film, the
Same.
worst part is the comic relief. For
Yeah.
example,
Okay.
in Journey, we had the dad of
Louise
the hot
Guzman.
Disney girl,
Louise Guzman.
and
whoever
and he's like, "Oh, I'm
name's like
just so
making up.
goofy. I don't know what I'm doing because I'm so goofy," and it drove me fucking insane. This
and then
one-
Tooth Fairy too. You hated
Tooth
that guy.
Fairy, that guy.
No, Aaron's wrong about that. We're not going to talk about the
Tooth Fairy man
You're wrong. You're so
was-
fucking wrong, and I'm not going to have this
He
conversation
was like
again.
half goblin, half celery stalk, and he disgusted me.
And he's beautiful inside.
Wait, didn't you guys talk about this exact character last episode?
Probably.
Yeah.
He won't stop talking about
It's
it.
a callback, Connor.
Haunts my dreams. And then here we go with we're seeing right away, maybe it's like an Ice Age scrat.
Yeah,
wreck,
that's
like,
a good point.
girl
That's what it
thing.
was.
Fucking
Yeah.
eyes.
But something about him was so goddamn goobery looking that
He was so stupid that I liked him.
Wait, do you guys not like the squirrel in Ice Age?
I did like the squirrel.
I did like the squirrel.
So
But-
also
Dude,
that's
the
what's appealing
slot,
about the
yeah.
squirrel. He's too goofy looking.
It's no
Oh,
the
no.
strength I thought was there. He's so goobery looking.
Yeah. If he just
That-
did the stupid things and didn't look as stupid, not as good.
It was like he was done in a more like surreal art style than the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
like
Can I bring
he
up-
didn't look anatomically plausible.
Yeah.
Can I bring up a quote from the film?
Absolutely.
Because a few times this movie did get a little meta, like pointing at itself being a Disney princessy movie.
Mm-hmm.
And so just like a quote from The
Chicken
Rock,
survive.
he said to her, she's like, "I'm not a princess." And he's like, "Yeah, whatever. You have an animal sidekick. You're a princess." So it was like a fun moment. There were a few moments like that and
Yeah.
other quotes from The Rock where he would like play on or when he was like, "You're gonna sing a song right now, I'm gonna fucking kill myself."
Yeah.
Mhm.
Not
That
direct
was-
He
that
also
was nice.
said the chicken survived,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which is a thought I literally had. Was like, is the chicken survive?
Echoing
And he
the
said
whole
the chicken
audience.
survived.
Every time the boat fell over, I'm like, "Where's the chicken?"
My immediate thought went to, is that chicken dead? Did they kill the chicken?
And
Because then I will cry.
And the ocean loved the chicken. The ocean,
Ocean
kept
loved to
spitting
save the
back.
chicken.
The ocean, for those viewing at home that might not be as familiar with the film, was an anthropomorphic wave energy.
It was the entire ocean.
It could wave. It could fist bump. It could high five. It could pull pranks. It was a lot of fun. It was a character in itself.
Yeah,
and,
it was.
And it liked the chicken, and I liked the chicken.
I like the chicken a lot.
And just the texture of the water in this movie, goddamn, they've come
Oh
a long
my
way.
God.
To make sure.
It was, yeah,
All
incredible.
of
The
the
first thing I wrote down
Oh,
was
hold
her
on.
hair seems real because of how
Yeah.
good the animation was in this movie.
Yeah, the animation was breathtaking. to say the
Incredible.
least.
Better looking than real life.
Yeah.
Can I ask something I'm super curious about?
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
So I don't know if it's been like this in the other movies that you've watched, but as you probably noticed, The Rock doesn't show up until, I didn't look at the time, but it feels like at least 30 minutes into
Yeah,
this movie.
I meant to take a note of when he finally showed up, and I forgot to timestamp that.
Well,
I think-
technically, he showed up in the very
Yes, he
beginning.
was
Very
there in the very
beginning, but
beginning.
then
They
he's
teased
gone.
it.
Okay.
They tease it, you see him a little bit, you don't know necessarily that's The Rock. If it's your first time
And yeah.
watching and you know nothing.
And yeah, Connor, that makes our jobs a little harder. Absolutely. And we're here to digest the movie as well as The Rock's influence in the
Well,
movie.
no,
Yeah.
like, so it's just, like, I think whenever he's a co-star instead of the star, he does show up a little later because, like, he's the heavy that comes in later when he's
Yeah.
the co-star. When he's the main
The
star, he's
heavy.
there from the beginning.
Yeah.
He's
So,
the
and this
heavy.
was another case of him being the heavy muscle that has to come in later.
You don't want him to upstage the main character if that's not.
'Cause
the
he
point.
will.
He wasn't the
Yeah.
main character. I thought he was.
No,
his
I'm
role
saying,
was great.
I'm saying in
Yeah.
this one he's the co-star, so he comes in later.
They come in later because they know the audience will
That
just
was
fall in
funny.
love with them, and they want you to meet the main character, and they don't want you to be distracted by this beautiful presence of the Rock.
Yeah.
So they let you get acclimated before they let you swoon.
Yeah.
With this
And
1-to-one
swoon we do.
mo-capped Rock, actually.
Hey, since we're on The Rock, should we talk a little bit more about his character?
Yeah.
Because I like how they build up throughout the movie that he's more complex than you think. Because at the beginning, he starts as a villain. So The
Straight
Rock
villain.
is playing the character Maui, who's a demigod, trickster, shapeshifter. We find out later when we meet him, he says he's a hero of men. Then changes men and women, hero of all. And then we get, so
Very
the
progressive.
backstory
2018.
is that he stole the heart of Takiki?
Tahiti.
Mata Nui?
He stole like the
Connor,
good-
do you know what it is?
Tahiti, I think.
Tahiti?
No,
Tahiti.
Tahiti's a place. I've heard
Yeah,
of that
Tahiti's a
So
place.
is Maui's also a place, guys.
one. Not true.
Yeah, Maui's just a place in Hawaii.
Well,
Did you just get that?
no, I don't.
Oh, okay.
They
believe you.
refer to her village, her island as Mata Nui, which I'm pretty sure is where the Bionicles live. So
There are two real islands. What is it called again? Could you say?
Mata Nui.
Yeah, Mata Nui.
that's
It
where the
means a big
Bionicles
island,
live.
and there's two in the world that are real islands named that.
Really, I thought it was a Bionicles thing.
That sounds right,
So,
though.
anyway,
It
believe
really just
you when you
means
mentioned
big
it.
island in some Polynesian language.
Did you look it up?
I think I have to now.
Tafiti, that's what it is.
Tafiti.
Tafiti.
So,
So, Tafiti
yeah.
is a goddess that's just like the goddess of goodness, of life, of like nurturing, of earth, of goodness, of, you know, of sustenance. She's plants. She's the plant god. And
Life goddess.
we find out in the very beginning that Maui took her heart, which was a stone, not a or coin.
The soul
It wasn't
stone.
a coin.
I would believe it was a soul stone.
So he took the stone, and then so Moana's mission is to go find him and to, with the stone, to bring him back to Tafiti to restore life in the islands, because now that the stone has been taken, it is taking away all life in the islands, and it's turning to ash or igneous rocks.
Nice.
Nice.
So, but then when we meet The Rock, or Maui, he's like, I'm not just a demigod, trickster, shapeshifter, I'm also hero of all. And so then we get a little bit of his backstory. And I like how they made him a little bit more complex and a little bit more complex.
You know, I was scared about his song. For like halfway through that song, I was like, yeah, he's a nice guy. Like, this is awesome. And I was like, wait a minute. He's a trickster. I'm literally falling for his tricks because he's so charming.
He's charmed us all.
He charmed me.
But he is
And
a
then-
hero.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he did trap her in a cave and like left her to die.
She got out like a goddamn superhero.
Yeah.
That's true. She got out like a superhero because she is incredible,
That
but
was
he really
amazing.
just like left her to die.
No,
Yeah.
but
And,
he
like,
said she'll
he
like
was
it in
fine
there.
with it.
Yeah.
He said
Yeah,
he'll
but
like
he
it.
didn't
Dude's
care.
got a bit of
Whatever,
baggage.
Like, blah, blah, blah.
So that's why he had to build up. And so I liked how like he transformed a little bit. It wasn't just too cookie cutter. I mean, it was, but like it had some layers that built up.
Yeah.
So then they become friends, and we learn a little bit more about his backstory. And we find out he actually was a hero.
Yeah.
He brought the sun. He brought coconuts. He was lifting islands. And why? Why? This is
Why?
where it gets dark, you guys. His parents threw him in the fucking ocean because they thought he was ugly.
They
Wow.
Okay, I don't know. Wasn't it explicitly said that just because he was uggo?
They
We
said-
They didn't like him. Was
He
what it was.
said Maui's words were, they took one look at my face and like decided they
Yeah.
didn't want me, and
300
they threw
style.
me into the sea.
tossed him in. And that brings me
It might be
to
because he was ugly.
a
And
bit of
his
a-
face was quite square.
Maybe when he was a
good.
baby, he
He
had the
might not-
eyebrow going on.
He might not have been a good-looking baby.
He wasn't a handsome face.
He wasn't a good adult.
Yeah,
a bit of a mess.
He wasn't cute.
They should have mocapped The Rock's actual face like they did his body for the movie.
I noticed this character had a
wouldn't
lot
be
of eyebrow
believable.
raises.
He did.
He had some
Also-
fierce eyebrows, which I think
yes.
had to do with The Rock, and I loved it.
Absolutely.
But then, so then we find out that all of that he does is all of his own insecurity and wanting to please his parents. So then we find out he was actually raising the islands for the people, and he was bringing the sun and the coconuts because he just wanted people to love him. And that's why he stole the heart in the first place, because he wanted to give humans the status of gods to create life,
He's
which
trying
is
to
what
please.
we're doing, trying to still do now. Which is
This
interesting.
is the point where I had a problem with the movie.
What's up?
I believe most of the things he did. I don't understand why he stole the stone
I
at
just
all.
told you.
Kind of.
To
Because
make
it was-
people give life?
It was a reach.
Because he wanted to give people the power to control like their destiny and the earth around them, and he was like, this is the ultimate thing, like I've already given you the sun, I've already given you islands, I've given you everything, and I still don't feel love, because he doesn't love himself. So he's like, this is the ultimate thing I can give you. I can give you the power of
Absolutely.
fucking God.
Yep, Sloan just hit the nail on the head. Yeah, he did it because he was toxic masculinity. So he was like, blah, blah, blah. Okay,
No, it's
here,
just
I'll
his
give you.
parent issues. He was an unloved baby.
Yeah, wow.
Don't touch my farts.
This brings me up to a quick sub point I'd like to bring up. So a lot of this story is revealed through The Rock's animated tattoos.
Oh, that was awesome. That was a
And
really cool
that
thing.
His
gave me-
entire conscious, like his moral compass,
Yeah.
is his body.
live on his body, and they gave me a very strong visually like a bless my soul, Hercules
Yes.
on a roll.
It was
That
really
kind of like the animated.
I saw so many parallels to Hercules
Yeah.
in this movie.
Oh,
I- can I
absolutely.
And you
bring up
know,
one-
the directors are the same.
Oh, okay, interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
same with
Fire
Little
Titans
Mermaid
and-
too, and Frog, Princess and the Frog.
Also, though, I was just gonna, no, because I was having that, but I thought it was really cool that even when they did about the animation, when they would close up on his skin, they had skin texture. That was awesome.
They did.
Oh, that's
on.
pretty cool.
That's all I want.
Well, so back to the animated tattoos. He earns the tattoos, and then they show up on his body. They come up when he earns them.
Yes.
And so the one troublesome tattoo on his back is him as a baby being thrown into the water, which made me wonder, did The Rock gain this tattoo as a baby? Was Baby Rock, did he get that back tattoo?
Yes.
Yeah.
His first tattoo was just a baby
For sure.
with a picture of a baby falling off of a cliff on his back.
Not falling, thrown.
I'll push back because, okay, so he was found by the gods, but we don't know the timeline of when he was found by the gods.
That's true.
So I would assume that when he gained demigod status, perhaps his past accolades and life
Histories.
experiences then.
on
Yeah.
his back,
You know,
it's behind
Yeah,
him.
so I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it was necessarily a baby with a tattoo. Maybe he was just aged instantly when he met the gods. Who knows? This is a lot of
giant
speculation.
baby right now. Are you suggesting that he became a man when he met the gods?
His skin looks soft. He could be a baby.
It's
His
gods.
skin
Who
looked very
knows?
soft.
Dude, they don't have to follow the rules. They can age him instantly. They're gods.
I'll allow it.
I'll allow it.
I thought it was cool that it was on his back. 'Cause it's like, this is the past and this is what I need to overcome. And so
Yeah.
that probably was his first tattoo, and now he needs to build up his life around it to overcome it, to
Yeah.
feel love again.
You're just gonna look weird with one tattoo of a
The
falling
only
baby on
tattoo
your
I
back.
had a problem with happened to be the very end when it showed Moana do anything. Why is that on him? Should have been on her.
No, it's
She
not.
should have gotten a tattoo of her
Oh,
deeds.
shit.
Why did he get a
I
tattoo of
cheered
someone
for
else's
that movie,
deeds?
too. Because
No, that's part of the
Moana made
story.
him the man he needed to be.
Yeah, that's what helped
Moana-
him become
guess.
a
Yeah.
good.
But he was like, "Oh, this is all the stuff I've done," and then it was someone else. It
It's
just
all
seemed
part.
out
No,
of.
it's just all part of his story. He didn't throw
not what he
himself
said it
into the
was.
sea. His parents did, but it's part of his story, and it's
Fair
part
enough.
of what made him who he was. And then helping Moana helped him become a more positive, less of a trickster. Still some pranks, probably,
Still some
but
pranks.
not so chaotic.
Yeah.
Well,
She's
okay,
only human.
to piggyback off of this trickster concept, this is something that we've hinted at a couple times. He was kind of an asshole, right? We can just like say that he was like kind of like.
Oh, he
kind
was.
of a
Yeah, he was
jerk.
awful.
Yeah.
He was so
Have you
mean.
guys seen? Have you guys seen The Rock be a petty person in other movies?
You mean like not a great guy?
Yes. In
But
Pain
I would
and
say
Gain.
petty like a child.
Tooth Fairy, he
Tooth Fairy.
has a bad attitude most of the time.
Bad attitude.
Yeah, he does. He sometimes plays characters that are troubled in the beginning and make a change through the movie.
Character
and-
development.
Redemption arc.
By meeting people that make him want to be a better person.
How do you make a beautiful sculpture? You chisel a rock.
You
Speaking
chisel
of
them.
sculptures, it looked like from when she found him on his island that he made a sculpture of himself.
He did.
No one else
Yeah.
was there to make that sculpture.
He did.
And it looked
Yeah,
kind
he
of
did, and there was
crude.
actually
Why
trivia
wasn't it
about
done?
that.
Wait, tell us more.
Oh gosh, I can't find it now, but it's
Make
a
it up.
call back to some very old something. Maybe it was a movie where there was some king who made a sculpture of himself and the nose fell off. It was a callback, very intense.
Oh,
Emperor's New
interesting.
Groove.
Loads and loads
Emperor's
of
New
callbacks
Groove, that's
to
what
this
it was.
movie.
I see. When Emperor Cusco is like
Yes, yes.
the whole llama thing. That actually makes sense
That
now.
was a good movie too.
It really was. It needed The Rock.
What's next
Well,
in the movie you got on
so-
your list there? We
well,
all got some lists.
So when The Rock sings, I just wanted to talk about the technical prowess because he actually hit some high notes.
Yeah.
And started
Yeah.
spitting.
Yeah, he has a singing coach for sure.
He does, and he
Yeah.
he was borderline rapping at part of it. And
Yeah.
this actually caused Moana to enter a psychoactive state. She was seeing a mixture of 2D and 3D animation during this time.
You know, I
Yeah.
didn't think about it like that, but honestly, you're right. I think his singing and rapping was so good that she was tripping.
It literally like distorted her
That's the only thing that
mind.
makes sense to me.
Yeah, because it
Yeah,
was
she
a
was
really good
tripping.
song. I didn't trip balls during it, but I could see how someone could.
If you were in the presence
young
of the Rock,
girl
the
would get
demigod.
Imagine if the Rock starts singing to you, and you got to be tripping something.
Goosebumps just
So,
thinking
yeah,
about it.
something's
Just
happened.
thinking
I
about
might
it.
like panic throw up, and that
Now-
would ruin it.
I will say, Aaron, that I think for me, this is considering the Rock Block is a podcast about the Rock. This is the most interesting and pertinent point of this movie. The Rock sings and does a very good job doing it in
Yes.
this movie. This must be uncharted territory, right?
It is not. So actually, in Journey 2, he sang a song and played a ukulele. Was it ukulele or guitar?
Yes. I think it was ukulele.
Ukulele. He did
You
it
can't tell
well.
with his size.
He did it so well that we were even more stoked for this movie because we knew he would sing more.
That kind of brings up a good point. That could have been a guitar and just looked like a ukulele. Because
It
he's
was
a very
I
large
think
he
it
guy.
was
was
ukulele.
playing it though. He was playing it.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
This,
Yeah.
all jokes aside, that was him shredding.
Yeah.
He did a really
Dude
good job.
fucks.
Okay,
Dude fucks.
now I did not know. I don't know anything about these Journey 2 movies, but I think
You'll find out soon.
Watch them? Or you guys? Did you guys watch all three? This is just
Yes.
Oh,
this
yeah.
is just gaining hype for the upcoming episodes.
Yeah.
You watched
Yes.
all three of these movies?
In
Well,
one day.
You'll see. You'll see. Turns out there isn't 3 of them.
Yeah. It's weird.
No, guys, no.
That's all we'll say.
We'll leave it at
Almost
that.
it. Nothing more. Just listen
my
to the
interest
episode.
peaks, and
people.
honestly, viewers at home, if your interest isn't peaked, I don't know.
And
what-
honestly, it'll be the one before this one.
oh, really?
So,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
You'll experience it soon enough.
If
That
you're
was
listening to
that
this-
was a journey of a
Our fans are hot and ready to consume whatever we put out.
I was just gonna say, if you're just a fan of Moana and that's why you're listening to this, I suggest
Yeah.
go back and listen to the Journey 2 episode because it's
Or just Google the song, maybe.
got a lot.
That's
the song was
mostly
very
what
good.
You need from that.
The song was very
Trilogy of films.
we had already heard him singing in a different movie, so we were excited to hear him sing again. And I'm looking forward to future songs by him.
Oh yeah, he's got the chops and he can do it again. And I think directors are starting to notice.
Yeah, he can really do whatever.
As,
There's nothing he can't
Just
do.
chisel that rock into whatever shape you need, baby.
Absolutely.
just to go like quick reference to my notes,
Yeah.
The Rock's voice, as in singing voice, so much charisma. He brings charisma.
He does.
to every fucking thing he does.
Yeah.
It's not just that it's good; it's that he has the confidence while he does it.
Yeah, he
and
does.
That's what makes him a goddamn star.
That's all it is.
That's what makes
confidence,
But I'll also
baby.
say another trivia piece is that The Rock explicitly said that this was the most challenging thing that he's ever done, and he thinks that voice acting work is the most challenging work for any actor to do.
Oh, because you can't
Far
rely.
more-
He can't
Yeah.
rely on his muscles.
His
He can't
voice
rely on
is
his body.
smaller than his physical frame.
It's true.
It's a powerful voice, but when you
But I would say that really, if we didn't grow up in this zeitgeist that is so rock centric, if you were to see him, you might expect his voice to be a little bit deeper than it really is.
For sure.
Yeah, such a muscly big man.
More
He
gruff.
has a very kind voice for how big his body is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's nurturing.
It's also that's
Absolutely.
part of what makes like his smile so
Yeah.
I think it's like his smile's nice, but it's extra warm because it's on such a scary physique.
Yeah.
That it comforts you to be like, oh, it's okay.
Yeah, you fucking nailed it, dude. That's
It's gonna
exactly
be
what it
okay.
is.
It's gonna be okay. This
Yeah.
big,
He's
not gonna hurt
this
ya.
big
He's your daddy.
smiling
He's
man
your papa.
is gonna just
He'll hold you in his
very
arms,
beautiful
he'll rock you like a little
charisma.
baby, and he'll sing to you and play the ukulele, and it's gonna be okay.
Who's Daddy Love?
I would. That was me. I would dump my life savings for The Rock to
Be your
rock
dad.
me to
You want him to hold you.
I do.
Sing to you.
Deeply, deeply.
so
Take
much-
note of this, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, while you
Maybe
tune in.
hold us.
I've
for
been
a
DMing
second.
him every episode we've made.
Have you really?
No, I wish. I should start doing that.
You might as, what do we have to lose?
I thought you really did that.
I'm gonna get
Well,
blocked.
I think we're oddly positive about him.
That's true. We are.
Sometimes gets a
This
little
is
explicit,
like,
but
this is worship. Honestly, you developed a whole
deserves it.
podcast
It is.
around this dude.
We are starstruck, fascinated, just kind of enveloped in his presence.
can't
I'm
help
excited
it.
because I've always loved him. As I said, I've
4th grade, doing projects.
I've always loved him, and it's just I'm just so excited for him to getting out of that, like excelling so much more beyond
He's
what
exploded.
we thought he'd be possible of as a wrestler, and he still is
Absolutely.
that. He still
Yeah.
has that fighting spirit, and that's what gets him through everything.
As
Yeah.
much as Scorpion King was fantastic, I don't think at the time anyone could have predicted that would start this.
This.
Because there's a
That
lot
was
of
like a
wrestlers-
wrestler
there's
doing a movie.
plenty of wrestlers that have had that kind of moment.
Mm-hmm.
It's that warm smile that makes you feel okay, and his charisma, and turns out so many talents that
Yeah.
takes him.
Really an
okay.
incredible movie.
I'm really curious of you guys because I think that I don't know, you guys are much more of experts of The Rock than I am, but it feels like there's obviously the criticism that he plays the same role in every movie, but I know that he
False.
fired
False.
back on Twitter and said,
Yeah, I
no,
did.
you're
False.
dummy, you're
Fake
taking
news.
stupid
Let
pills.
her finish.
But I think that this is a real departure for him, and I'm curious, do you truly think that The Rock can play any role?
Yes.
I mean, he can't play.
Yes, that was so fast.
So immediate.
I wouldn't believe him as a paraplegic.
I would.
Yeah, because I know the powerhouse
Because
of
he's
a man
too
he
young.
I
is.
feel like he could heal from paraplegia.
I don't know. I feel like he really fits into whatever role, and he does it well. Like, as we did see him in Skyscraper, like, even though it's not really believable, he did such a good job that it was believable.
Incorporated that
hold on.
amputation.
That movie is not. No. Okay, hold on.
Yeah, what do you got, Sloan? Spit
The
some
movie
truth.
that convinced me of his acting skill is a movie that we didn't particularly enjoy, which was Pain and Gain, because
Movie was balls.
no, it
Michael
was.
Bay, fuck
hold
you.
on, that was the problem. Because if you even put Marky Mark, same exact cast in that same movie with that story and a different director,
Oh, it'd
and a
be so
different
good.
vision, that could have been a dark indie movie, and
It'd been
still,
so
The
good.
Rock would have been. He still would have done a good job, so which makes me think that he does have more range than I believe. I would love to see him in something really fucking dark and like gritty and fucked up.
The only problem is he's so big and we expect different things from him. It's going to be...
No, that's why Pain and Gain
difficult
was
seeing
because
him
he
in
was
that
like
way.
he was the soft one. He actually had a heart. I mean, but that's also part of The Rock. He has to always have a heart because
Yeah.
he can't just be muscle. But that movie, knowing
So
the
much
kind
muscle.
of story that they were working with, and knowing, like, I could see how it could have been so much better. It makes me convinced that he could do something else. Like, he has to overcome his mass. That's
He can't.
if you're gonna do something that's not what
Can
he's
he?
done. He can.
He could do anything. So
Can't.
You think he can slim
write
down?
that down. Oh.
No, he doesn't need to.
Don't. That makes me physically ill. He could. He absolutely could,
doesn't
but
need to.
I
He doesn't need
refuse
to.
to.
But we've
watch
come to
him
expect
waste
like a
away.
certain mass from this man.
He's not gonna get the same kind of roles. Like in an indie movie, you usually want someone small and pale. I think.
Yeah.
If we're gonna you need an Elijah Wood
Someone
type.
that can look
but
wimpy.
there are points.
That's weird. You know, I never made those connections before, but Sloan, that's very true. Small.
Girl
wimpy,
watches
white.
movies.
There's not a lot of room for The Rock in an indie film, but I hope I think he makes enough money now that if he saw something that was an actual artistic opportunity, especially now in his career, he would take it. 'Cause he's like, fuck it, I can do anything and I don't need the money. I want to do something that's good for good for cinema. You know?
I think he could do it.
I
does
could
make-
see
he
that.
makes the right
I could
decisions, I
see
think.
that angle.
I
Yeah.
could see him making a very strange, like not strange, but an unexpected transition into an art film.
I would like that.
He would have to
I
take a script that has a regular person in the role and be like, no.
No, it'd have to be
I'm
written
gonna
for
make
a
some
large
change.
man. It would have to be written for a
It's gonna
large
now
man.
be a large charismatic man, and
Charismatic.
I think they would be wanting a rock type.
Charisma, man.
I
He
said
said-
I said charismatic. I just hope we'd let that slide. And
Nah.
we did not.
Yeah, I'll
I mean,
totally
it
edit
would have
that
just
out.
been recorded, and then the people would have been like, "Why did they not call him out?"
I did.
Can I? Thank you. I don't know if this is good podcasting, but should we probably like return to the topic?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But yeah.
Speaking of not good, I would like to bring attention to one of the very, very small flaws of the movie, and that was the physical rendering of the banana. Do you remember
Banana
the
looked like
banana?
shit. I remember you saying, "Eat that banana." I remember you saying something where I was like, "Why is he talking about the banana?"
Wait, which
banana-
banana? I don't remember this even a little.
There's a very
It's like
We're on
5
the boat.
seconds.
There's a tender moment where Maui and Moana share a banana, and it is too long, too thin, especially considering the blocky, cartoony characters. This banana should have
Actually,
had more girth.
I have an opposite note from you. So I was thinking that the banana did look very small. I was like, wait, it's because Maui's so big. And then I was like,
Yep.
is this what it looks like when The Rock
Yep.
eats a banana?
This
Because The
this
Rock is also
actually-
much
you know
bigger
what?
than bananas.
I remember.
Well, then it was too
I remember
long.
now. I remember now being like that banana looks funny in Maui's hand.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think they had to make it longer just so you could see it around his
Yeah,
big.
it was a long
fingers.
banana.
It was a long
I
banana.
guarantee you,
Because-
there was like months of deliberation about how to design this banana.
There was multiple meetings about the banana.
Yeah.
Did it make anybody else think about what does it look like when The Rock eats a banana? Because it probably looks similarly, just so small.
It probably does.
Yeah.
He probably has to get custom bananas.
I would assume he
This
eats
is
like
seriously
at
my
least
note.
5.
The banana looks so small. Dash, does the real Rock look so small? Either?
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can we mail him a banana? and then ask him to eat it on
Mail
video?
a banana, and then
There's-
also a note that says, "Please take a selfie with this banana. We want to see what it's like in your large."
It's not an
There's-
insane
There's
request.
nothing stopping us from doing
Not
that.
a normal one either.
Not a
though.
normal one,
I'm
but he's
pretty
had
sure
worse.
I feel like that sounds borderline sexual to me. Like take
That's
a picture with this
yeah,
banana in
that's
your
the
hand.
problem.
I wanna
It
see
does
this
That's the
now.
banana.
problem.
Thanks, Connor.
No, I was saying the same thing. That's why you can't say it to him because it feels sexual. You can't because bananas look like dicks, guys. And we just need to accept that.
Let's blast through a bit of plot here. So after The Rock eats the banana, he pulls off some Tony Hawk level sailing skills that were incredible.
badass.
They were very cool. Essentially, they do some finagling and end up in an underwater blacklight mini golf course.
He teaches Moana how to sail.
Yes.
Yes.
There's a sailing montage going on, and they end up in
But
a black.
he does so once he's drugged.
Yes.
He's
Rock
kind
is
of
drugged
pushed
and
into
forced
that.
to teach Moana to sail.
Because he
which
needs
is
to be taught how to love in the right way.
Yeah,
He's
it's
a-
true.
His
He's a-
love language
No.
is wrong.
He needs to shed that callous exterior that he's built up this whole time that he's been isolated.
He's been on an
That's-
island alone for 1,000
that
years
stony
making a statue.
exterior.
Yeah, it is 1,000 years. You're right. You know what? I've not been sympathetic enough.
Yeah,
1,000
yeah,
years
it's gonna
is a
take
long
some
time.
acclimating. So basically, they end up in this blacklight mini golf course where there is a New
It's not
Zealand
even mini golf. What are
New
you
Zealand
talking about?
crab.
Blacklight mini
That-
golf. Is that what you
Except
thought when you
Blacklight,
saw
where
it?
Blacklights go.
New Zealand crab starts singing about how shiny he is, and honestly, that was a pretty sweet song too.
No,
It
it's
is.
great. It's the guy. So, like, if you
Can we
guys
take a quick
for
pause and
some
have
reason
Sloan explain it?
didn't make the connection or don't remember,
The hook?
it's the guy from Flight of the Conchords. You know, the tall one. He is the crab, and God, I love.
That song was cool.
It was so
Good
good.
song. It was a good mixture of charming and creepy.
Yeah.
Yes, I wrote. I think somewhere in my notes that he was very sexy for how nasty he was.
Kinda.
Oh,
He was-
nice.
I liked he was
His
just
teeth
putting
were
on
nasty,
sex.
but still, like,
Yeah.
I get you. Like,
Kind of the way I feel about the Fly of the Conchords guy. Like, you're goober
Kinda
looking,
sexy,
but I'm
kinda
into
gross.
it. I don't know why I like it, but I do. And they really captured that in the crab,
Yeah.
covered in jewels.
I agree.
Yeah. Carried in treasure.
I did think this part of the movie. So it's where they go to the land of monsters. It's a part of their. So Moana gets Maui, and he needs to get his hook back so he can. So Maui, part of as we said, his powers are being a shapeshifter, but he needs his magical hook that was given to him by the gods to do his shapeshifting. But it was something's happening. But that was taken from him when he was in a fight with a big, sexy crab. And the crab has it on his back, and so he needs to get his hook back if they're going to return the heart to Tafiti. And this is probably one of the scariest parts of the movie, and where Zach and I discussed that this was probably what would scare us as children.
Yes. Sorry, not Dwayne. Maui mentioned that he ripped a leg off of this crab.
I didn't notice a missing leg.
I didn't
was
notice a missing leg
looking
either.
for-
That's what I was gonna bring up.
He had
I
a missing leg.
looking
It
Did he
was
have
one of his
one?
arms. It was one of his arms.
Okay.
Wait. Oh, what?
No, I was looking for the missing link. I also didn't see it, but I also don't know the properties of crabs.
Yeah, I also have like zero crab knowledge.
Aaron
so
says he was missing an arm, so it must have taken one of the big ones.
It was it wasn't his main set of arms,
Oh.
but it was more of an arm appendage than a leg appendage.
Okay.
I noticed it right away, but then it kind of was in the background. I didn't notice it after he started dancing.
because like he turned over at some point, and I was like looking at the legs. I was like, is he missing one? Where like there maybe should have been one. I don't know crab anatomy, so I'm not the
I
best
don't know
person
much
to make
about it.
that
He
call.
said he was a decapod.
Did he?
Yeah, 10
Oh,
legs.
shit! I didn't even notice
Are
that.
most crabs decapods?
I don't know.
We don't know anything about crabs.
We
don't
need
know
to do
much.
some crab
This
research.
isn't the crab block, so we don't need to know all
That's
that.
very true. Yeah. All we know is the Rock stole a crab
Also,
leg.
Yeah.
I would like to say before they got to their fight is when The Rock said, "Muscle up, Buttercup," which is
Muscle
something I
up,
think we should all
Buttercup.
think when we need to feel motivated.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Muscle up,
continue.
Muscle up, Buttercup.
So yeah, they're fighting the crab, and then it goes into darkness, and then there's like scary neon paint, and that would have scared
that
the
neon
shit
paint
out
was
of me as a
badass.
kid.
That was so cool.
What is it?
Very scary.
Bioluminescence.
Bioluminescence.
Yeah.
Can I just put a quick pause on this and rewind a little bit, because I know for me the scariest part of this movie was when Moana was discovering the boats in this cave.
Really?
That was the scariest
What's
for you?
wrong with you?
For me, it was scary and mysterious, and I thought that was the perfect amount of cave scenes to be in a movie, because I was intrigued, and then we moved on. But if you
Are you
guys
scared
don't
of
feel the
caves,
same,
Connor?
Hmm?
Are you scared of caves?
Yeah, absolutely. Do you guys remember when
Oh.
we went in a cave and then we were stuck in that cave for like 30 minutes and we were like, hey, how do we get out of this cave? And we just kept crawling and crawling and crawling.
Yeah, but I don't remember any boats.
It could have been worse.
Yeah.
We got rescued by some Boy Scouts, or else that would have been a really troubling time.
That was an incredible time in that cave. Let's go caving again.
Let's do it again.
I will unpause and move back because obviously that's just something that I felt. I didn't find this scene scary.
No, that like
even a little
underwater
bit.
scene was
It's
like
also-
that was
it's an
pretty scary.
well,
There
Oh
were some
shit!
creepy
When
big
Moana
monsters.
was fucking like, she tried to leave the reef for the first time, and she was underwater, and the waves were like crashing
Oh,
on
that
her.
was so good.
That was
too.
like
Yeah.
pretty legit. Like that
Yeah.
felt.
That
real.
was like real danger.
They did
Yeah.
such a good. Also, though, it was just like how good they made like the water believable is what
Yeah.
made it
Yes.
so scary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They made those waves feel like impactful.
This is no Little
Dang, this
Mermaid
was such
shit.
a well-crafted movie. Okay, I will stop derailing.
So after he gets his claw back from the crab, his hook. Basically, some stuff happens. There's some falling out. Yeah. After they get out of the mini golf lair, they go to Lava Island to finish the movie, and Moana rushes it. Moana thinks she's had enough character building, and she just goes for it. And in doing so, breaks the Rock's secret claw. And that is what that pisses him off. You do not want to get the Rock angry at you. And he had a line that just hit hard for me.
Yeah.
It was
Can you say it really what like? Can you give a lot of emotion into it?
I'll do my best. She's saying about how the ocean chose me. The ocean chose me to save Mata Nui and all the bionicles that live in Mata Nui. And he looks at her. It chose wrong.
Oh shit!
He is not smiling. He is like the most disappointed dad you've ever had.
Disappointed Dwayne. I wrote that down too because I hated.
Oh, really?
I hated
Hold on.
feeling secondhand
Yeah.
disappointment from Dwayne.
Also, I think part of this was really important because this is around the time when we find out that his parents threw him in the ocean.
Yeah.
And also, he was so angry because it was his own hurt. Because I wrote down the quote that when his hook broke, he said, "Without my hook, I am nothing."
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's that he was so insecure that
Yeah.
he was then putting that on Moana, and that
Yeah.
was not cool.
He's
was
still
not
growing.
cool.
He's still growing.
He's still growing. Yeah.
Then we go into a Mufasa moment, which I thought was beautiful.
Badass. That grandma.
Beautiful. Granny comes back from the grave in the ascendant plane as a ghost lady.
Spirit Stingray Granny is what I wrote.
And here is where perhaps the most beautiful moment of the movie comes in. Because we go back to song number 1. We go back to song number 1 with the Spirit Granny.
You remember
with,
the song, people.
With the island, the whole don't leave the island, we're gonna stay here. But it's changed. It's like you gotta leave the island, and it hits you right into a flawless transition.
It hits you like a wave.
Back into song number 2, the Moana theme, and she just goes, "I am fucking Moana!" And it is
Yeah,
just
yeah,
it.
yeah,
Everyone
absolutely.
defecates. Everyone is covered in goosebumps. That is maybe the highlight of cinema. And
It was incredible.
it was
It
such
was.
a masterful moment of recalling parts from the beginning without hitting you in the face with it.
Yeah.
It twists
That's what
them.
Disney does, baby.
It was just it was a
Yeah.
Disney moment. I
It
gotta
was.
say
It was Disney
a-
moment.
It was a 10 out of 10 Disney moment.
Yeah. It was great.
So yeah, so before that, like, the Rock hurt her feelings. She's like, "I'm gonna give up," and she tries to give the heart stone back to the ocean. The ocean's like, "Are you sure?" And it's like, "I'm fine." And then she says, "We do that one more time."
Oh yeah, she after she throws into the ocean, she
No, what did you say?
she goes something along the lines of, "I am fucking Moana."
Then she gets back in that ocean. She picks up the stone and she's like, "You know what? I'm gonna fight this lava beast by my fucking self."
Which the lava beast reminded me of the Titans from Hercules a lot, and I
Yes.
fucking
Yeah.
loved it. Those
Yes.
that guy was badass,
He was
or
very
girl,
cool.
I guess. Turns
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
It turns out the lava titan was actually the sister of the Jolly Green Giant
No,
from
it's
the
No, same person.
Not
Not the sister. Same
Not the
person.
sister. Don't know how
Well,
you
the
missed
Jolly-
that
the
one.
Jolly
They're
Green
definitely
Giant
the same
is a
person.
man.
No.
This is the sister of the Jolly Green Giant.
Oh. Okay.
The Jolly Green Giant had a different path in life. He did
Green beans. He did
agriculture.
green beans.
He did green beans.
He
She
did
does-
green beans.
She does.
I didn't know
olives.
there should be real
Yeah.
world
Yeah,
canned
that
vegetables
was
into
Yeah,
this.
you were
confusing.
extra.
I like that
We all
you're
thought
trying to
you were a
make
big dummy for a second.
I like that you're trying to make a joke there, but it just made it confusing for everybody.
It's a thinker.
So I think it's just
Quick maths.
yeah.
So basically, she puts her soul stone up in the air, and it glows for no goddamn reason because it's never glowed.
Also,
the whole
The
movie.
Rock came back.
That
Oh,
was
It was
too easy.
such an important
Well,
point.
yeah, I feel like no. Sloan brings up a good point. The Rock does come back and cut off Taka, the lava monster's arm twice.
No,
And just-
thrice. It was three
Oh,
times.
thrice?
It was
Right.
one, grew it back, and then cut off two of them again.
Yeah, she's
Oh, I think you're
flowing
right.
lava.
Yeah. So The Rock comes back in just basic Rock form, really show stopping. Does some amazing stuff, and also sacrifices the hook that makes him a demigod.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For Moana.
That's
He
a big moment.
sacrifices everything that he loves about himself for
Yeah.
Moana.
That's when he realizes that he is more than the hook.
He's more than
Yeah.
the hook. He's the Rock.
I think it's more than he's realizing more than the hook. It's he's realizing that his intended purpose to just help people is the most important,
Yeah.
and the hook isn't.
Helping people is the hook.
The hook is the tool to do his job.
But
Doesn't
he gives it up.
He's not the tool. He's
No.
the person that uses the tool.
Yeah, and he just realizes that this is what he actually cares about, and he
Yeah.
actually wants to care about people again and not be so selfish.
Yeah.
So
and he
Yeah,
crushes
that's
it.
show.
He crushes it by just going head first against a meteorite, and he.
But they
He
get the
doesn't-
stone back, which is what he was trying to do the whole time. That's where I'm kind of still
What are
hung
you
up a
talking
little
about?
bit. They gave the stone back when he stole it to give it to people the whole time.
because it turns out that was a bad thing.
Turns out it was a bad
Yeah.
call.
See,
He
gotta-
didn't realize the implications of his actions when he did it.
The
Okay,
world would
I
not
believe
have
that.
green beans anymore if he took the soul stone away and the Jolly Green Giant turns into a lava being. He didn't know that.
Didn't know that.
He
Okay,
didn't
fair
know
enough.
that.
Didn't know
He
the
didn't know
Jolly
what
Green
he was
Giant turns
causing.
into a lava bean.
So
He didn't
he
know what he was
puts
causing.
he puts his soul stone back into the giant.
No, she does.
She turns
she
into
does. Moana does.
Moana
but-
does.
it.
That's what I said. And I'll
edit it.
And the fire giant turns into a sexy, curvy, green
I don't,
island
okay,
babe.
No, okay. You know what? You know how I mentioned Hey Hey was my least favorite part of this movie? I really didn't love the animation of her.
Tread lightly here.
I felt like I don't know. It just kind of honestly took me out of it a little
Of
bit.
the island?
She was this giant goddess, and her eyes were so.
Her curves were those mountains.
Were
She
you?
was-
I
were
wasn't
you
really
getting-
just that. It wasn't the body so much as the face just felt.
Her eyes were
weird.
very big, and they only seemed super big when she was in profile, when they got close
Yeah.
up. But I think that was just part of the fact that she was such a large creature next to a human that
Yeah.
it did make it
It
look
had
a
to be.
little weird.
She looked a little like an
But
Instagram
she's,
model.
she's this idealized, she's a goddess, ideal figure thing.
Yeah.
I was into it. It,
I know-
it gave
I
the
know it's
movie
the
a
exact same
well-needed
thing.
boost of
Hold on,
sexuality.
I just want to say, I know it's the exact same thing about her eyes and her features. They were a little bit much for a second, but I was like, well, it's just also so big, and
So
they have to put all
big.
that texture on it.
Yeah.
Kind of made sense.
And she's just spent 1,000 years as a lava being. She's trying to glam out a little bit.
It's true.
That's true.
Yeah.
She might be doing this on purpose.
She's got to do it for the gram.
Do it for the gram.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair point. I didn't think about the vanity of a goddess.
We did it. We got to the end of the movie. I would like to do a quick, as we always do, give some numbers, some hard numbers.
The stats that you all come here
First
to hear.
off, numbers on the movie overall. Second off, numbers on The Rock's performance in the movie.
Mhm.
Now, I would like to start with Connor. With how would you rate the movie out of 10?
Okay, this movie was really good. This movie was really, really good. The movie, the plot, the characters, and especially the music was really good. I might rate this a soft 9.5.
Yeah, that seems
Really,
pretty valid.
really enjoyed this.
Yeah.
Nothing perfect, and there were some flaws to this movie to be sure. But overall, an exceptional movie. I would show this to my children and my children's children and everyone ever. I would show this movie to literally every human.
Yeah,
9.5.
9.5. I'm going to go next because I'm talking. I think the only thing is I'm afraid to give a 10. I don't think I know what a 10 is. That's the only
yeah.
reason I'm afraid to give this a 10. I can't think of many flaws about this movie, but I thought it was absolutely incredible. I would recommend everyone watch it. I'm just going to have to stick with you, Connor, and I'm also going to stick with a 9.5.
So,
There you go.
Sloan here. I have like a couple different ways of rating movies, especially when it's like for the movie. It's like I have my feelings about it as a movie itself, and then how I compare it to every other movie that's my favorite movie. So as the thing that it is itself, as an animated, awesome Disney movie, it's a 10 out of 10 Disney movie. When I'm gonna put it against every other movie I've seen, like it's not gonna
10
be
is so scary to hand out.
So I would also give it a 9.5, maybe a 9.6. I really enjoyed all of it. It's just like, for what it is though, it's a 10 out of 10.
And you know, it's going to sound lame saying it, but I thought in my head before any of us said it, a 9.5. And again, it's like, I don't know what a 10 is.
Yeah.
And the fact that we
You
have
know what
any...
a 10 is when you feel it.
Exactly. I think we'll know.
But that's so personal. No, when it's a 10 out of 10 for you, like there's a difference of rating a movie for what it is in itself, and then the difference of how you feel
a 10? A 10 might not be possible worldwide.
I don't know
no,
what a
it's
10 is.
possible.
That's why I'm so scared to hand it out.
No, it's
You
your
might-
own. It's a movie that's just for you. That's
Yeah.
like.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a movie
Yeah.
crafted for
No.
just you. Like if this
I
movie
think
had
that's
way
okay.
more
Well,
tits
then
and
it's just Dwayne
explosions,
singing the whole time.
if we just beefed the movie up with a bit of sex and explosions, that might have got it to a 10 for me.
Yeah, we know what you. Yeah, we know what you like.
I've got Cheap Tricks.
Yeah.
Something like that. I don't think it could be a 10 for everyone. But that being said, 9.5 is the highest we've ever rated
Yeah,
a
it's
movie
true.
on this podcast.
Now, Connor, being on the Rock block, being such a huge fan,
Oh, wait, we don't read the rock.
sorry.
sorry.
I would like to know what you think of the Rock's performance in this movie out of 10.
See, this is something that I have been thinking about for over 24 hours. I've been really thinking about how would I rate The Rock here, because The Rock does not play into the stereotype that we think he would in like Skyscraper or any of the other movies as just a big, bulky dude, right? He is complex. He plays apathy. There's a lot of apathy in his role, which is something that I'm not super sure that we've seen in The Rock in other roles from him. I don't know. You guys know better than I do.
No, it's valid.
But he's also done a great job voice acting. I feel like he portrays anger, apathy, and love all very well. And he also fucking sings. He sings really good.
He sings extremely well.
That on its own boosts it up for me.
So, for me, I think that you guys gave Dwayne The Rock Johnson an 8 out of 10 during Skyscraper. I did not watch Skyscraper, but boy, did you guys not like that movie. But I still think that there was room for improvement. So I think that for me, I'm going to give The Rock an 8 out of 10 on this movie. I think that he did a fantastic job. And I think that he's on a great direction, on a great path, but he's still not really quite reaching that apex.
Yeah, I think, again, same thing. I'm scared of giving a 10 because I don't know if I've seen his performance that really makes him the man that he is in today's cinematic world. I liked his song was really good. His voice acting was incredible. He nailed everything that I thought he should. There was no part that I thought he lacked. But I think I'm gonna give him a solid 9. Hearty, capital, bold 9 out of 10.
I was gonna give a 9 for the same reasons. There's always room for improvement, but great job.
Yeah, maybe more musical numbers.
We found that he can do it. He can pull
He
them
can do it.
off.
I expect this from him in the future.
I was going to give him an 8.5 because basically taking away from a perfect 10 was we did not see him.
We didn't see him.
We lost exactly. His physical form wasn't in
It does
it.
make a big part of
He
it.
trains his body as much as his mind, if not more. And we didn't see that. His rippling horse flesh.
I like seeing his sweaty skin and his eyebrow.
Absolutely. The eyebrow was captured a bit.
Yeah.
And I think that it was a tasteful opinion for them to mocap 1-to-1 his body onto the 3D form. Scale completely.
With more hair.
More hair, yeah, and they gave him a less attractive face just because they didn't want it to be sexual. It's a kid's movie.
No, we had to believe that he'd be thrown.
Right.
That's the thing. We have to believe that he would be
Also,
thrown.
he's a
in the
demigod, not a
scene.
god.
Yeah, you can't believe that The Rock would be thrown
The
in the scene.
animators surely had a perfect model, and someone was like, we gotta tone.
We gotta tone this perfect model down, or else it's gonna detract from the movie.
But he sang. He had good humor. He had just good
Character
natural
development.
Character development. Natural comments. It was very no cringy lines. He did say "kooky dukes," Don't know what that means.
The ocean straight up kooky dukes.
A little weird. It's little moments like that brought it to an 8.5. Still very good for me. And was this his first time voicing an animated character?
Yes, this was.
Okay.
It was, and that's a big new step for him.
It's huge.
He's always trying to do.
Opens the door.
It does. He proved he can do it, and he'll do it again.
Yeah. I hope so.
It was great.
Any closing remarks you would like to make, Connor? Anything you want to try to shoot out at people about this movie?
Moana's great. Everyone should watch it. I'm curious to you guys. Be very honest. How do you think this podcast went?
I thought it went great. I thought we covered a lot of the thoughts we had about the movie, a lot of our highlights, a lot of our dislikes. We talked a lot about The Rock's performance in the movie, which is definitely a highlight. So yeah, I thought it went well. What about you, Sloan?
Fantastic.
Yeah.
I don't want to get into why because the listeners know why.
The listeners
they know why.
I think
taste it with your ears, baby.
This was our first time with a remote guest, and I think it might have taken us a little longer to get what we wanted to say out because of just.
We got so much to say.
Limit on passion,
we got so much to say, baby.
I'm just saying it was a little more freeform than normal, but still pretty good.
That's what people love. That's what I love in a podcast.
And I think just like The Rock made a plunge into animated, we made the plunge into having guests.
We're comparing. Okay.
In our little way.
We're trying to be like The Rock more every day.
We did something new for the first time in our career.
Yeah.
The way The Rock did in this movie.
Career. Yeah.
You
Capital C.
Capital Y.
Connor, is there anything you would like to say to maybe fellow listeners or people that are interested in the Rock Block? Maybe they want to get on. Any advice for them?
This is what I'll say. I have noticed a market improvement. I don't know. We'll see. I'll have to listen back to this and hang myself when I listen to my own voice because, boy, we all know that's a great experience.
Oh, yeah, I don't listen to
If you ever have suicidal thoughts, call the Suicide Prevention Hotline.
No, for real. Don't
Guys,
kill yourself.
okay.
It's not worth it. The world is a really wonderful place when you look past all the darkness. But I think that you guys have been doing a lot better. I actually listening to Skyscraper. I laughed a lot listening to the Skyscraper episode. I think that you guys can continue. My only concern is that you guys might have started off on some good Rock movies. I think you guys are going to be scraping the barrel.
Whoa, we have so much more content to go through, friend.
You have no idea.
There's a lot. I looked at this.
We've had these talks internally.
Yeah, there was a lot of things to go through here, bud.
You think you run out and you realize there's so.
You don't realize how deep the layer of the Earth goes with the different rocky layers. The stratigraphy of the world goes so deep.
I'm going to stop you because you just said stratigraphy and you didn't let me make up a word.
Wait, hold on. Also, though,
that's a good callback.
Can I do one more rock fact? Now that we're bringing up rock.
Ended on a rock fact.
Did you guys know that the Earth's crust is made up of around 95% igneous rock?
That's a big number.
95 people.
That's kind of what we gave
Okay,
Moana.
wait. Can I ask? Just as a basic refresher, aren't there 3 types of main rock? Right? There's igneous,
sedimentary, and metamorphic.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Now, what type of rock do you think the Rock is?
Igneous.
I think he's igneous because granite.
And he's 95% of the mass of the world.
And he's just like.
Wait, Aaron, could you break that down for me? What about the Rock is 95% of the world's mass?
95% of the world's joy?
Don't think about it too hard.
Also, pretty big stretch. I don't know.
See, personally, I was going to say sedimentary because he can fill in wherever he's needed and he does it well.
See, I was going to say metamorphic because of the exact same reason.
No.
Yeah, because he can reshape himself.
I don't know. When I think of that, I think a character actor. The Rock isn't necessarily a character actor. He's a leading man.
He's a leading man.
That's not a...
Do you think The Rock is truly a leading man?
He's not a character actor.
I will say, when he is the leading man in a movie, I hate like most of the other actors who try to support him because they can't do it.
Guys, Steve Buscemi is a sedimentary rock.
Guys, this is not the Buscemi block. As much as I would love the Buscemi
Just saying,
block,
that's what a sedimentary.
The Buscemi block does have a nice ring to it.
it does. I think this is a good
Season
time
3.
to cap it for this episode.
We covered a lot of important things about Moana. We hope that you all go out and watch it yourself and get your own opinions. And hopefully this episode helped influence some things, point out some things you didn't know, and you learned something.
Like about Igneous Rocks.
Think about Igneous Rocks.
And also about the Polynesian culture. Even though there are some criticisms about it being very homogenous and singular, it's actually a really great introduction. So yeah, watch that.
Nice.
It's a great success for the Polynesian people, I think.
Yeah.
Well.
So thank you very much for joining us on The Rock Block. Once again, I am Zach.
I'm Sloan.
And I'm Aaron.
And our special guest, his name is...
Connor, hi.
Thank you, Connor, very much for being a part of The Rock Block.
We'll see you next time.
See you next time, baby.